What the? Shadow? This is the ultimate gameplay. Shadow, what are you doing? Sonic, what does it look like? I'm spectating Shadow Generations, the peakest video game of all time, the true sequel to Sonic the Hedgehog 2, or Shadow the Hedgehog 2. What? Bro, what do you mean? My game is better. Okay, buddy, says the one that had less development time put into it. This, like I said before, is the ultimate. Shadow, turn the gameplay off. We're gonna get in trouble. I don't care. I'm playing right now. I just want to look around and peek in this world, Sonic. You don't understand because you always get the games. We gotta let Alan do his video. Man, screw this. I'm still playing. Bro, are you gonna, let Alan do the video? Fuck the video. He can wait. Let me finish this level. Shadow, you've been on for hours, dude. Grinding the same, levels over and over again. I don't care. This is, like I said, this is the peakest of peak. Oh, my God, dude. Come on, dude. Give me the control. No, get... Go! Shadow, get the fuck off me. The fuck off me. Oh, Louie. How you doing?
Hi, Shadow.
Don't mind this. Blue bastard decided to get bodied real quick. Oh, Alan, you're already recording. What are you doing, you buffoon? Get in that closet and make the video.
Alright. Are we gonna...
Don't worry about that. I'll pick up the trash later while you make peek.
Alright.
Yeah, so get to it.
Okay. Should I turn off the PS5?
Yeah, whatever. I was doing speed runs.
Alright. Let me just turn off internet on the PlayStation 5. Y'all know it. Talk about it. Damn, Sonic got slept for real. Alright. Oh, bye, Louie. Alright, y'all. So, I'm here. Sonic and Shadow just got into a little scruffle over Sonic X Shadow Generations. And I want to talk about it. So, by the way, Dark Soul, welcome to stream. Owen Roberts, welcome to stream. If you haven't seen my full playthrough of Sonic Generations and Shadow Generations, I suggest you go check those out. I have 3 videos about it. So, and I want to get this out of the way as well. I have never played Sonic Generations before this point in my life. Okay, so this is literally my first time ever playing Sonic Generations, so I'm going to talk about the base game and Shadow. So keep this in mind when I talk about a lot of these issues. These are issues that are mine personally, and also some that a lot of other people also had, but, you know, issues and also compliments and whatnot about the game. But I want to talk about my experience, my issues that you guys saw, that you guys can check out in YouTube and stuff like that. So, anyways, so what do I think about Sonic Generations, the story? Obviously, Sonic Generations barely had a story. It was Sonic and friends were chilling. Time Eater came in, sucked up all his friends, and Sonic went to go frickin' dash out to save them. That is literally Sonic's story in Sonic Generations, right? And I remember the story not being so much. That's something I do remember. Webinator 2, welcome, and HHVR, hi, how you doing? But anyways, that's the story, right? So, the gameplay, I want to get right into the gameplay, because the zones, for the most part, were phenomenal as modern Sonic. Yo, bro, what's happening here? Just talking about, the newest Sonic game, my, Sonic X Shadow Generations, right? But I'm talking about the Sonic Generations sides of things. So if you haven't played that, I suggest, you leave and come back, when you play it. If you have played Sonic Generations, don't worry, and Shadow, because I am going to go heavy spoilers into Shadow's story as well when we get there. But, yeah, I remember when playing this game, I really loved, playing Modern Sonic. Modern Sonic this is some of the best Modern Sonic I have ever played. because for the most part, right, of this game, whenever you do play Modern Sonic and whatnot, I loved boosting through levels. I have, because keep in mind, guys, I never played Sonic Unleashed on the PS3. I never played Sonic Generations at all. And a lot of people say Sonic Generations has the best Sonic boosting. And now I can see why. Because Modern Sonic in this game, when boosting, is incredibly fun to play. I love Modern Sonic's gameplay. And also, Classic Sonic's gameplay is pretty cool too. Though I thought it was kind of weird having to press R2 to spin dash with him. That was also really weird. And for the most part, right, most of the zones I did enjoy, but this was one of my biggest problems. There's like two problems I mainly had with Sonic Generations as a game, right? One, I kept slipping up everywhere. I kept falling off of platforms that costed me death. I was running into some glitches, basically where I'm on the platform, then off the platform without my own doing. There are some shit like that. If you guys saw my gameplay, you know what I mean. Also, there was that problem I had with Sonic Generations. Also, fuck, if I can remember correctly, well, I can't remember because I remember that. Also, Ivera, welcome, my friend. How you doing? Another issue I had with Sonic Generations was the keys. Okay, the keys, traversing through the hub. Okay, was easily one of the worst things I ever experienced in Generations. Because, in my opinion, I hate traversing through this place. Because when you're Sonic traversing, it's all in a 2D space. It's not a 3D space, it's a 2D space. And also, that means keys, whenever you do challenges after you're done with a set of levels, before you do the boss, you have to do one challenge each from each of the zones. And I remembered I was immediately turned off by this because nobody informed me that this is how Sonic Generations is played. Like, Ronnie didn't remember. No one in chat was telling me, like, about the keys and whatnot. And I don't expect people to who only ever played it once back in, like, 2013 when the game initially came out for 360 and PlayStation 3 and whatnot. But no one told me about that, right? So I was extremely off my rocker when I heard that you have to do challenges in order to progress to make it on with the boss fight. I remember getting so pissed at that like I remember my energy just completely changed like throughout playing Sonic Generation. Keep in mind, these keys, once you do these challenges as well, are not even right next to each other. Sometimes they will be, and other times they will be like on the other side of the map when you unlock them. And on top of that, like I said, my traversal in Sonic Generations fucking sucks since it's my very first time playing. So I have no idea about the layout and whatnot and so on and so forth when playing. That, like, I really dreaded doing the challenges for a key to fight the boss because this is my mindset. You guys know this on a lot of video games that I play. I want to get to beginning, middle, and end with very little issues in my way. I want to just enjoy the game all the way through because you guys know when I encounter bullshit, my game is immediately thrown off, right? Or something's wrong or whatever, right? I'm kind of pissed about it or whatever. I know that happens in every video game I play, but it just happens. But anyways, as I was saying, right? So not only I hated fucking Traversal the Hub, but playing Sonic and falling off levels and also racing the double ganger and the time trials and stuff was annoying, and trying to grab the keys for every zone felt annoying, and the fact that they weren't right beside me automatically after I beat the challenge to unlock said key was annoying, so I don't have to constantly get lost in the hub world. All that shit bothered me, right? And also, Ronnie noticed this, but I didn't. The dub because they redubbed this game. They didn't like keep the same they did keep the same lines. They did change up a little bit of things, but they redubbed it. They redubbed the game, and Ronnie actually caught this. Shout outs to him. But he was saying that the dub sounds kind of weak, in some places when you play Sonic Generations, like the base Sonic Generations. I'm not sure about Shadow too much because I thought all the lines were so peak from every character in Shadow side of things, but in Sonic side of things, there were some lines that were replaced that sounded worse off in this version of Sonic Generations than of the original release and whatnot. So I'm glad Ronnie pointed that out. Also, collecting chows in every mission, I really didn't care about that, so I didn't bother doing that. Also, Classic Sonic having the Sonic Jam version skin and Sonic Adventure Sonic skin for Modern Sonic, really cool additions. I love that. And then the Terrio skin for Shadow. I never bothered fucking with skins because you guys know me. I love what the characters originally look like a lot more than what, you know, what are provided as skins and whatnot. You get me? So that's why I never bothered to change when I was doing my playthrough, for anyone that wants those questions answered. But another thing that also kind of bothered me was obviously like the boss fights with Sonic are pretty good. For example, like Chaos was pissing me off due to, like I said, slipping off the map every other 5 seconds or whatever. But all the other boss, like the Agrodroom, was kind of annoying. I thought the first boss with Classic Sonic was kind of annoying and whatnot. I look, like I said, a lot of this stuff is kind of annoying for Sonic, since it is my first time, so a lot of things are going to bug the shit out of me. But easily one of the worst things, in my opinion, in Sonic Generations is easily Planet Wisp. I dreaded the fuck, and I don't mean this lightly, I hate Planet Wisp. Planet Wisp was one of my favorite stages, and I didn't know this because I never played Sonic Generations before on the 360 or PS3, so keep this in mind. So this is the first time I'm experiencing Planet Wisp in Generations. I've always heard that it was bad, but I never knew why it was bad until I started playing it. And boy, Planet Wisp for both Classic and Modern Sonic is so fucking long. For no reason, it took me over 10 minutes to beat both of their stages. And even longer because I kept fucking up over and over and over and over again in my first video on Planet Wisp. Even against the Double Ganger and the Time Trial or whatever I did for Planet Wisp was bad because of how long Planet Wisp was of a stage. So many hazards for me to fall into, so much other stuff. And I remember just fucking hating my time in Planet Wisp to the point that I was so angry. I was thinking about rage quitting the game and just being done and just moving immediately to Shadows, but I wanted to give it one more chance. And, you know, I did, which was yesterday or the day before yesterday, whatever. And I beat it, but it was so damn bad that I don't think I'm ever going to be coming back to Generations doing another playthrough because of Planet Wisp. And because of the fucking layout or the hub world of the levels. I fucking hate that shit. I really hate that shit. So when we got to the end of the game after Planet Wisp, because Planet Wisp is the last act of Sonic Generations, actually, you know what? I want to go back to bosses, because there were a few that bothered me. Shadow's boss fight especially bothered me when playing this game, okay? So keep this in mind. I have never played before. So I have never fought Shadow, I've never fought Metal Sonic, I've never fought Silver, I've never fought Metal Overlord. I mean, I have fought, not Metal Overlord, I meant Chaos. I've never fought any of them in, you know, Generations before. So fighting Shadow was easily one of the worst things I ever did, because almost nobody in the first room when I went to him was telling me what to do, how to beat him, okay? And I was trying my best to understand how to beat him, but even Omni-Chow and the other things that, you know, tell me what to do in the game were not telling me how to fucking beat him. So I was stuck at Shadow. I quit Shadow, actually, because I rage quit so quickly. And Metal Sonic I quit, too, until I went back and said, no, fuck that Metal, run the hands. And I beat him, which I was happy to beat him. But I would argue, out of these three, you know, Shadow, Metal, and Silver, it would go Shadow as the worst, and then Metal, and then Silver. I would argue Silver I had the least stressful amount of time in comparison in terms of dealing with that boss fight. But I really dislike all three of them as a boss fight, because it bothers me, because Shadows is all about, you know, you collecting these power orbs and then, you know, quick stepping into them, which I figured out so much later in comparison to when I should have. People in my comment section were telling me, dude, this takes 2 to 3 minutes max. How are you fucking up on this so bad? I've never played this shit before. I've never fought Shadow like this before. I've only fought Shadow in Adventure 2 when I originally played it months upon months ago, man. Back in 2023, back in 2022, okay? And Shadow's fight in Adventure 2 is completely different than what it was here in Sonic Generations. So that's why I'm sitting there, like, kind of, like, wondering, like, you know, hey there, Sonic, you're a bitch. Okay, buddy. Okay? I'm not like this and Shadow's dead. Ugh. I'm like this. Shadow is bodying me, and I'm trying to figure out how to body him, and I can't body him because I couldn't figure it out for the longest time that you need to sidestep into him, which, again, in the second stream of Sonic Generations, people were lacing me up, people were helping me out with the game. I had 10, 15, 20 people watching me go through Shadow, and, you know, people were embarrassed, but, you know, hey, I came out on top anyway. That's what's up, right? When I beat Shadow, I was so happy because Shadow really rubbed me the wrong way when playing this game. And Silver did too for a little bit. Silver's boss fight was all about him hitting trucks, and I didn't understand at first. I was sitting there running as Sonic like, what the fuck do I do? Do I homing attack something? What do I do? And you homing attack the cars, and eventually to him and whatnot, and then rinse and repeat, right? And then he also throws lasers and whatnot. Metal is just kind of like CD, but you actually have to damage him. That's pretty much what Metals was. But anyways, boss fights aside, oh, and the Time Eater. I don't think I really like the Time Eater as a boss fight in Sonic Generations 2 as a final boss. Hitting him 3 times and also switching perspectives from 2D and 3D, I thought that was cool, but like as a boss fight, yeah, it was not... It was okay. It was final boss material, but it was just okay. In my honest opinion, it was just okay. I didn't think it was the worst. I didn't think it was the best either. Okay? But yeah, that's Sonic Generations. It's a game... I think Sonic Generations, and I know this is funny coming from me, okay, as a big Sonic and Mario guy, but I don't think I like Generations as much as everyone else does, to be honest with you. I think, like I said, modern Sonic is phenomenal in this game. And, you know, classic Sonic is also pretty fun to play too, but he's also feeling kind of heavy. I'm not even going to hold. It took me a little bit of time to get used to, like, classic Sonic's controls and whatnot, right? But, I don't know, they're great to play, but it's like the things I went through kind of made me feel like I kind of don't want to go back to this. You know what I mean? I don't have that urge to, like, unlike other people who have experienced Generations before, to kind of go back and have the urge to play it over and over and over again. But that's Sonic Generations, a game that was more of a mess. Now into the real game. This is my opinion on Shadow Generations. I love this game. I would play Shadow Generations over Sonic Generations any fucking day of the week. Let me tell you why. Every single level that Shadow has in that game there was not a single stinker. I loved every single level. Kingdom Valley, Rail Canyon, fucking Space Colony Arc, Act 1, Act 2, freaking Radical Highway, Act 1, 2. All the bosses Shadow had, in comparison to Sonic's, was way better. Shadow having multiple different Doom-based abilities, like Doom Spear, Doom Morph, freaking Doom, I think it was like Doom Surf or whatever. Yeah, it was Doom Surf. Shadow just single-handedly made this game worth it to me. And I say that because, again, the zones and the acts were infinitely better than Sonic's. There was no such thing as Planet Wisp or anything of that nature, or there was no shit level like Planet Wisp that took me way too long to complete. All the bosses like Mephiles the Dark, or Bio Lizard, or Metal Overlord, or Metal Overlord, or Black Doom himself. All those guys were amazing boss fights for me. I loved each and every single one of them. There was not a single one of those bosses in Shadow's campaign that is worse than Sonic's. I'm just going to be honest. And on top of that, the marketing, you can just tell that Shadow Generations as a game, way more money, budget, all that stuff, all of that went to Shadow. All of it did. You can tell. Sonic Generations was barely touched, and I wish they actually, I wish they actually fixed Planet Wisp and shit. But, like, other than that and all my other problems with it, Shadow just clears this game out of the water. Let's say this. Sonic Generations is good, in my opinion. I had no problems. I would still say Shadow clears. Cutscenes were better. Seeing Maria and Shadow and Joe Robotnik reunite after all these years of Maria just being in the memory and the fading of the past of Shadow and seeing that shit. Everything was fucking awesome except for 2, maybe 3 things Shadow Generations really fucked with me on, right? So, this is about the stages. Now, I'm not saying the stages are bad in terms of playing them, but it just does not make any sense to me why they're here. Sunset Heights and Chaos Island, Sonic Frontiers map, and Sonic Forces map. Why are these levels even here? Why? It doesn't make any sense to me. Because Sonic Generations takes place, obviously, after Colors and stuff, but obviously way before Forces and shit. Like, Sonic Generations happens way before Forces and whatnot, right? So, what the hell is Shadow doing here with those 2 levels being included in his past, as there are, like, past levels, quote-unquote? Even though we all know Sonic, and Shadow wasn't even in Frontiers. So why the hell does he have a Frontiers-based level? If, at anything, I would have taken Frontiers Sonic level over Shadow having it, because at least Shadow's not in Frontiers, so it's just weird that Shadow got a level from Frontiers. Meanwhile, he should have had a level from Shadow the Hedgehog represented. Or, I don't know, maybe a level from Sonic and the Black Knight or something. That would have been actually make sense. Somewhere that he's a part of. Somewhere that he's in. Not just these 2 levels, because why not? They're from our most recent games and they're easy to get. It's like, fuck that. Where is the level from Shadow the Hedgehog? You know, the game that's literally about him. Where is Metropolis, like Meta Metropolis Zone, you know, the first Shadow the Hedgehog level? Where is that? Or where is a better choice? Oh, the Space Colony Arc. Shit. Where is shit, I don't know. Final Doom, you know, like, instead of just Radical Highway all the time, because Radical Highway happens a lot, not just as the final parts of the game, but other than, like, that issue with, like, Shadow Generations, I actually think Shadow Generations has some of the best gameplay. Shadow feels amazing, boost-wise, ability-wise, movement-wise in the hub. And by the way, yes, Shadow Generations actually fixes one of my biggest issues of all time in Sonic Generations. The hub shit. I have only gotten lost a single time during the entirety of the game in Shadow's hub world, where I couldn't find the underground bit to reach the Mephiles boss fight. Other than that, I have literally had no issues with Shadow in the hub world. I loved how it was 3D, just like Bowser's Fury's Mario 3D, you know, freaking stuff. I love that about Shadow Generations, how it's a 3D environment. I get to tell everything not just from a 2D perspective, a flat perspective, a straight line. I actually have all of this to explore and check out. That's what made the hub world so great. Is I loved all of it except for that one bit where I got lost. But I bet you in later playthroughs I'll just breeze past that and easily just remember it. But my point is, right, is that again, and also to get this, whenever you do the challenges in Sonic X Shadow Generations, oh my god, the fucking keys appear right there if you want to complete one, if not all of the challenges. Wow, and it's right behind me or right beside me. It isn't like Sonic Generations again, where it's like, oh, the key is gonna be here, or nah. You have to go all the way down that way for a key, or down that way, or down that way. That way, 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 that way. Alright? For a damn key for Sonic. Shadow? It's right here. Key, baby. Like always, I find the keys easier than that blue rat does all the time. Oh my god. And like I said, and also the challenges in comparison to Sonic's. I had to leave because it's night and day. Here's Sonic's missions for challenges. Stupid, boring, not exciting, repetitive, whatnot. Here's Shadow's. And I know I sound like a Shadow fanboy right now, to the point. Why is this guy cinema? Hey, I'm sorry, bro. It's just sometimes it just hits it like that. You know what I mean? Sometimes I hit, sometimes I miss. But my point is, I know I sound like a Shadow fan right now, and I love Sonic to death. Okay, y'all know Sonic and the Black Knight. I played that all day when I was a kid. Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3. But I'm just being honest here, and you guys know me. I always say what's on my mind first, or what, like, you know, I never lie to you. I never try to bullshit you with my review or my opinions or my perspectives. I'm not expecting y'all to agree with me. But, like I said before, everything this story mode does just easily outclasses Sonic Generations to a T. And I hope everybody in their motherfucking mama, and I mean this, I hope everybody talks about Shadow Generations for years to fucking come. After this game's release, I feel like, dude, like this generation shit, it was, again, this Generations package was worth it as soon as I played Shadow, man. And it's like, damn, everything's new, everything's fresh, you know, it isn't just an old game being remade for modern consoles. It's different. Sonic and Shadow Generations is worth it. And this is why I say this experience is crazy, because I went from completely disliking Sonic Generations to loving Shadow Generations, like the second half of the package. And that's what makes it crazy, is that I have such drastically different views on these two games, even though it's one big package. I have, you know, two drastically different views, because when I played Bowser's Fury, I mean, I love both. I love 3D World and I love Bowser's Fury. But with this, it's like Sonic Generations is okay. I love modern Sonic and classic Sonic's gameplay when it comes to running around the stages. But like sometimes that shit would piss me off, or a boss would piss me off, or an actual stage, aka Planet Wish for Sonic Generations, would set me the wrong way. Meanwhile, Shadow is just peak with everything except for, you know, again, the Forces stage and the fucking Frontier stage and Shadows. You know, other than that, I mean, those two stages are actually really fun to blast through, and they actually made the Sonic Forces stage not just a straight, narrow pathway. They actually made it fun. They made Shadow Generations managed to make a Sonic Forces level fun. I don't even know how that's fucking possible right now, but you get my point, right? But anyways, I digress. Go buy this game. Go buy this game digitally. Basically, go support Sonic Team with this game right now, because I think it is worth the purchase if you are a fan of Sonic Generations from the past, or if you are a fan of Shadow Generations. You need to buy this game. You need to support this game because it's Sega's most latest game out there, and you can tell that, and I'm going to give props to Sega. Sega, you cooked with Shadow's story mode. You guys cooked, and it shows me as a Sonic fan that you guys have the potential to build great levels and craft great worlds still. You know, it isn't like a stinker like Sonic Forces and whatnot. You know what I mean? You guys can actually build really great levels. And I'm happy that you guys can build really great levels. It means a lot to me that y'all can do it. Y'all, Sega team, you actually can build phenomenal Sonic levels with Shadow Generations. And that's all I'm going to say, because, dude, go play the game. Go watch my playthroughs, because Shadow Generations deserves all of your attention. I'd honestly say it's worth the money alone for Shadow Generations, but I would argue you should play both, but I'd argue you probably play Sonic Generations first before you play Shadow Generations, in the bundle if we're going to go that far and whatnot. But yeah, I'm done. See you guys in a bit, man. This fucking sucks. This sucks. I can't believe this!
What's wrong, Sonic? Alan liked my game better than yours.
Shut up, Shadow. You're not funny right now.
Oh, but I am, Sonic. I actually had a good story mode for that man, Alan.
Okay, and your point is there's probably millions of people that have already enjoyed me more than you.
Okay, buddy. Keep talking your shit even though it's pointless.
Okay, buddy. Man, why is this camera still on? Turn it off!
No, I don't think he will.
What? Who's even holding it? Alan, is that you holding it?
No, actually, it's like my assistant.
Your assistant is holding this camera right now?
Yes.
Is it... Oh my god, is that a Black Arms henchman holding the camera?
Yes. I threatened his life, so, yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude. Like, you need some serious therapy.
No, I don't. I'm the peakest life form. The ultimate life form.
Oh my god, yo, Black Arms dude, are you good? Oh, sweet Jesus. End the video.
You can end it now, Badoom guy. Or Black Arms guy. Just end the video. Also, Alan, thank you for truly understanding. Shadow Generations is the best thing in this package. And, yeah. Sonic eats shit. Goodbye.
Fuck you, Shadow.